guys, how you doing? Trucker G here.
And Mrs. G.
Get a lot of messages on Facebook. A lot of people wanting to know about, basically getting into a trucking career. We're going to break it down into a series because I see a lot of people making mistakes. And the biggest mistakes I see them making is the steps that they take at pursuing this career. And there's certain steps that you should take, and you should take them in order. Well, that number one step is to get on the same page as your significant other, your spouse.
That's a must.
You need to talk to them. You need to find out if it's something that they don't mind dealing with, be honest with you.
And that you have their full support.
And you got to have their support, otherwise good chance you might not have a spouse left.
Yeah.
Especially if they don't support you.
Yeah.
But if you have a spouse, you got to stick with that step one and make sure that they're okay with it to begin with.
Yeah, because that'll make or break a trucking career and a relationship.
And when we're talking about that, it can't just be, hey, I'm thinking about being a truck driver, and her saying, okay. It can't go that way. You got to let her know the pros and cons.
Yeah.
And you got to be aware of the pros and cons yourself, Pros are, you're possibly going to make more money than you make now. It depends on what you do. I don't know what you do for a living.
Yeah.
If you're a CEO of a Fortune 500 company, well, you're going to take a hell of a pay cut.
Yeah, trucking's not for you then.
But if you're working at McDonald's flipping burgers or something like that, a minimum wage job, more likely you're gonna be doing a whole lot better financially. So that's a pro. Did you have health insurance before? A lot of these starter companies, or as a company driver, you can get health insurance. So there's another pro. But you really got to look at the cons, because the pros really ain't that big of a deal. That's always gravy, and people take pros and they smile about them. It's the cons that you got to worry about.
Exactly.
Is your spouse ready for you to be away from home? Weeks on end.
Especially if your spouse has never had you away from home for more than a day or two.
Yeah, exactly. So. It's not something that you can just say, hey, are you okay with me being away from a few weeks? Yeah, I think I can handle it. You won't really know until you actually get out there and do it. But you got to they have to be aware of the different cons, Con is, you probably ain't going to make it home for everything important. You could pick the most important dates, and I've been pretty blessed to be home on them really important dates. The kids being born, their birthdays, Christmas, Thanksgiving. But I've missed a lot of ball games in the meantime. Missed a lot of school awards for the children. There's a lot of different stuff that you're gonna miss. You're gonna miss the barbecues.
And you have to be prepared, and your spouse has to be prepared also to know that's those are definite possibilities that you will miss them. And on some occasions, you can work around it and do it when you come home or before you leave out.
So that's basically our first step, and we'll kind of get into the second step. I'm going to break this down into a series of videos. I'm not going to do it all in one video. Second step is finding that school. Or actually, I'm skipping steps also. Dog's down here snoring, got me all sidetracked. Second step is actually figuring out logistics, should I say. And what I mean by logistics is, do you own a house? Do you rent a house? Do you have animals at home while you're going to school and while you're out on the road training? More than likely, you're not going to be able to bring your Fido with you, or your cat Fluffy, or so on and so forth. So do you have somebody that'll take care of them pets while you're at school and while you're away from home training? If you're single, if you're married or you got a spouse, well, then you pretty much got that covered. If you're single and you have a house and you own the house and you're buying the house, well, then you still got that mortgage to pay while
so you have to
you're making little money, put it that way, while you're in school. Little to no money while you're in school. Probably no money while you're in school. So you got to think about that. Are you going to be able to pay them bills? Or do you have kids? If you got a wife and kids, how's those bills going to get paid until you start bringing home them paychecks? Something you need to think about. If you're single, it's a little easier. If it were me and I was starting all over, I'd probably not rent the house that I'm renting. I'd probably take the stuff inside of my house and put it in a storage shed and pay about $60-$70 a month for a storage building, I'm not sure what they cost, but I'm just throwing numbers out there. And I would live in the truck is what I would do. But that's all stuff you need to talk about with your spouse, basically, is what I'm getting at on this first video. And we're going to go on to the video number 2, and I'm going to run through a series of videos. I don't want to make this too long and bore you guys. I know if it were me, I'd have done clicked off of it because it's already over 5 minutes. Guys, appreciate you watching. Y'all be careful.
Bye, guys.